Out of the 51 countries in Africa, 24 of them have abandoned constitutional rule, whilst 18 of them have either modified or eliminated the constitutional time limit. The detail is contained in a report released by the Africa Center for Strategic Studies, which is an academic institution within the United States Department of Defense. Addressing the 2023 Democratic Union of Africa Forum in Johannesburg, South Africa, President Akufo-Addo said the reasons behind the continued stay in office by some African leaders are many and varied.
Ladies and gentlemen, all of us gathered here believe that the application of democratic principles, operating within the context of strong, private sector-dominated market economies, with good, honest management of public finances, provides the most effective platform for growth and rapid development. We of this persuasion, of this worldview, what the Germans call our Weltanschauung, won the ideological battle of the last century. And today, our philosophy is the one that has taken and continues to take millions of people out of poverty and to create broad-based prosperity. We, however, cannot pat ourselves on the back and say our policies and philosophies have become the dominant ideologies around the world, and therefore our work is done. We need a continuous process of engaging all peoples on what our values are, because an ideology that seeks to liberate the energies of people and generate opportunities for them to realize their God-given talents is the best route for bringing prosperity, not only to the African peoples, but also to all peoples of the world. The man who is regarded as the doyen of Ghana's politics and who led the first political party in Ghana to fight for national independence, Joseph Boakai Dankwa, of most blessed memory, articulated clearly over 60 years ago at the height of the Cold War, the policy which continues to guide my party, the New Patriotic Party. This was when much of newly independent Africa was already submerged in authoritarian ideologies, emphasizing state control of the economy. He said, and I quote, "Our policy is to liberate the energies of the people for the growth of a property-owning democracy in this land, with right to life, freedom, and justice as the principles to which the government and laws of the land should be dedicated in order specifically to enrich life, property, and liberty of each and every citizen," unquote. The vision was to spread the benefits of private property and a society of aspirations to all citizens, not just a rich and privileged few. To democratize the opportunity to accumulate capital as a meaningful way of ensuring the dignity, freedom, and security of each individual.
The president, however, said the challenges with democratic principles is fueling instability on the continent.
African peoples have, however, paid a steep price for efforts by leaders to circumvent constitutional term limits. Upwards of 90% of the 24 countries that either lack term limits or circumvented them experience varying levels of civil unrest and political instability, including coups d'etats. The continent's democratic progress is threatened by such events. Even more worrying, the expression of social discontent by the citizenry, usually through protests, has often been met with various degrees of repression, co-option, violence, and further consolidation of the status quo. Is this the Africa we want? The reappearance of coups in Africa and in all its forms and manifestations must be condemned by all, since it seriously undermines our collective bid to rid the continent of the menace of instability and unconstitutional changes in government. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that Democracy, development, security, and respect walk in tandem. When a country is peaceful, is committed to upholding democracy, good governance, and respect for human rights, and provides security for its citizens, that country develops and is respected. If the African continent is to take its rightful place in the world, it has to shed its image of instability and overcome the conflicts that have plagued us for so long. The current fracas in Sudan is a tragic case in point, which imposes on all of us the duty to make concerted efforts to bring the violence to an immediate end and begin the process of restoring democracy to that unhappy country. Those who seek to play meaningful leadership roles in Africa would necessarily have to prioritize the establishment of a peaceful atmosphere on the continent.